Hey everybody, and welcome back to my Rebel channel. Today we're going to cover Real Housewives of Potomac season 7 episode 4, Not All Fun and Games. So last week I gave you the 2 reviews for episode 2 and 3, and I also turned around and gave you guys a review for the taglines. Now when I did my review on the taglines, it was based off the wording, and in that video I stated that when the women talk and they add the music, it's going to sound different, and I did not give you guys a review of how it sounds once it rolls off the tongue. So if I was to go based off of that, my ranking would actually change. It would be Candace, Giselle, Mia, Karen, Robyn, Wendy, and Ashley. If you want to know who I chose beforehand based off of wording only and so forth, make sure you check out that last video. So now with the episode, this is basically a filler, so it's not going to be as long. But it opens up with Wendy. Her and Eddie are taking the kids to go play football, and they decide to go to the side and discuss the restaurant with Peter. She tells him everything, and Eddie feels like, why would you take this on when you just open your own essential business? Wendy said that she's planning to go through with it, she's just not sure, it's just an idea, she just doesn't want the opportunity to pass her by. Eddie feels like he doesn't want her to overdo it because he doesn't want it to be a strain on their relationship or as well as her health. Then we see Robyn and her family, and they're basically practicing for the sack race with her son, calling Juan.
I'm a world-class athlete.
Yeah, she didn't say that. You're a world-class bitch player.
Oh. That was close.
They race with her oldest son winning, and then we see Robyn admit that she is being petty and stubborn when it comes to inviting Wendy and her family. She talks with Juan and tells him her plans to include Wendy's family without excluding her kids. So while this is going on, we see both Robyn and Wendy with their spouses. Robyn tells Juan that her plan is to call Candace, have Candace ask Wendy, can she bring her kids? Juan thinks this is a good idea, and I'm looking like, on what planet? You will never see a parent say, yes, my kids can come without me, when she knows you don't even like her. She don't know if you're gonna treat her kids right. We see that Wendy said that her feelings was hurt, especially because she was excluding her kids. They talk about the messages with Ashley and then Giselle versus Candace, with both of the men being kind of shocked. One feels like Chris needs to apologize, and Eddie says, well dang, now we know they're after Chris. Then we have Karen. Karen learns that she's allergic to chicken. You know, her stomach isn't able to digest it well, and honestly, it's the way our food is being processed now. That's why I try to do a healthy balance. Then we see Karen and her daughter Raven on the phone. They discuss how Raven was at the Met Gala, and I thought that was really cool to know, because you know the Met Gala is like a really prestige event. I did a video on that, on the fashions from this year. Make sure you check that out, by the way. But after they discuss that, they talk about Ray disliking that Karen got her breasts done and how that could affect Raven. You know, they laugh it off, and they basically say, they talk about everything, so of course you know this already. Then there's Ashley and her publicist. They discuss her plan to basically make a statement about the divorce, and Ashley says,
almost 8 years ago, when Michael and I said I do, we anticipated sharing every single day together from that moment forward. Unfortunately, that is not our current reality. We have decided to separate.
Her publicist says that people are going to talk regardless, so it doesn't matter what you really say, and they decide to set a date for their release statement. We find out like at the very end of the episode that it wasn't able to be released on the date that they planned because the news was leaked. Ashley did say she couldn't reach Michael to basically tell him the news and ask what to do, so they had to release it without him knowing. So now everybody is on their way to the event. We see Mia discuss her mom and the history on that. We see G asking Mia about her and Candace and our relationship, and we see Giselle and Grace on their way. So while at the event, we see Mia give us some funny confessionals because of how everything looked.
Robyn is pretty regular, so I really wasn't expecting a whole... Did I say that?
We learned her son didn't even want to come to the event, and Mia felt like she should have just followed suit. Juan didn't come to the event either because of like some dental work or something along those lines. Then we see Jacqueline and her ex-husband. Robyn tells everyone that Wendy declined her kids coming.
It was not about the kids. I appreciate my girl Candace, but she also knows no mother is going to leave their children to go with someone else, especially to an event that they were not wanted at.
And I was definitely here for Karen when she said,
children with someone else? Why don't you send your children with someone else, Robyn, please? No, it makes no sense.
They pick teams. Giselle basically take over when it comes to picking team because Robyn is more like laid back when it comes to doing everything. Charisse makes it, and Karen
I'm sorry, I should be coughing.
Robyn team basically wins the sack race. Now, while the race was going on, we did see Mia and Karen struggling. Karen, she basically says she has a respiratory infection and she leaves. She decides to leave, with Robyn basically saying she did all that because Charisse was here. And I'll agree with that. I feel like y'all kind of brought Charisse there to kind of pick with Karen or whatever. But yeah, Karen was doing a lot. Like, you was not coughing really beforehand. Then there's a three-legged race with Giselle and Jacqueline basically cheating during that. Candace makes it and she ignores Giselle. The group does tug of war, and side note, when she ignored her, Giselle said this.
Go. Candace, you have come, honey. Hi. You've spoken to everyone here but me, okay? You're taking this too far, sweetie.
Giselle, didn't you just do that to Wendy? I was here for you. Was like, girl, back up. Because, you know, y'all ain't on the best of terms. So why would you not expect Candace to do the same thing? We see Charisse ask Candace, you know, how are you doing? You know, they haven't seen each other since the last event with Ashley. And Candace basically says she's not dealing with people in their lives. Side note, Mia is like listening super, super hard. So we're going to see how this is going to play out, because y'all know she's going to try to relay that message. While they're doing the limbo, we see Ashley make it. She hops in on the event. After that, Ashley talks to Mia and the others, and they discuss Ashley wanting a divorce. We also learned that Jacqueline and her ex-husband got a divorce because she didn't want to participate in threesomes either. The event ends with Ashley and Candace basically talking. They talk about Candace and how the egg retrieval is going, and Candace feels like it isn't going that well, and Ashley tells her to not give up. She's not a failure, just keep pushing. She also tells her that she put her in her journal and did baby dust on her.
That's good. Just don't write my name in no book and then, you know, start doing voodoo on me. Like, I don't know these ways.
I'm not familiar with this either, so I understood Candace with that. That's the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my review. Let me know what you thought of the episode. It was definitely a filler, so we're gonna see how next week is gonna go. I think that's one that's gonna be a heavy hitter, but I wasn't really complaining that it was a filler episode, only because the first three was bringing it. The first three episodes brought a lot. So, I mean, you know, let something mellow out and then bring it on back in. So I'm not tripping on that. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.